Rachel Olson, the founder and the host of the Best Mom Products Show and podcast. Today, I'm excited to interview Flesche Tuller Hesch, the CEO of Nest Consultants, business coaching for moms. As a mompreneur and small business strategist, Flesche helps women just like you learn how to start and grow their companies so that they can spend more time with their children. Yay, we love that. Trained as a psychotherapist, she has been a coach for almost a decade and has helped to launch and grow hundreds of businesses. Flesche lives in San Francisco with her husband and adorable toddler son. Today we'll learn what she sees are common challenges and frustrations mompreneurs face and her advice on overcoming those humps when starting and growing your business. Flesche, are you ready? Let's get started.
Let's do it.
Okay, great. So why don't you tell us first how you got started? I'd love to hear about your psychotherapist background and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, so it's such an interesting journey how I got here, and sometimes I just marvel at it. So yeah, my other life was I was training to become what I called a shrink at the time. Really, I was becoming a marriage and family therapist. I got my master's degree in counseling. And when I look back on that time, it really was one of the happiest times in my life. I loved the people I was hanging out with. It was amazing. And for those who don't know about that journey, in California, you need to get 3,000 hours mostly of postgraduate hours of face-to-face therapy time, which is amazing. You want your therapist to be well-trained. And the dirty little secret about that is that work is in most cases, unpaid. And so I was working a couple of jobs just to support my work as a healer. And then I had this amazing opportunity. My now husband, boyfriend at the time, was working for Google. And he said, "Hey, I've been asked to go to Ireland for a few months and set up a team. Do you want to go?" And I thought, well, yeah, I want to go. Of course, I'm going to pick up and pretend to go be an Irish housewife for a few years and be taken care of. A few months and be taken care of. Yeah. And so I was in the middle of my training. I had about half my hours at that point. And so I just went. And I had typed into Craigslist 2 words, part-time and telecommute. And I found a job. My fantasy was to find a U.S. company I could work for. And I started doing business coaching from Ireland for a U.S. company.
Oh my gosh.
And that's how I got started doing business coaching. I was working with small business owners all over the country, and the bug bit me hard. I loved it. I loved doing it. I loved being virtual. I loved, it just blew the lid off what was possible for me all of a sudden. And so I did that work for almost 6 years. I did it from home, and then I got pregnant. And I thought, oh, well, this is perfect. I'm really good at my job. I was the first employee at that company. I'll just keep rocking it out. And what happened was, after I had my son, I couldn't go back. I realized even though I worked from home, even though I had a ton of flexibility and I made really good money, I wanted to be home with him. And so I took about a year of really struggling and suffering and complaining and being sort of a pill to figure out what I wanted to do next. And I started coaching myself at some point, and I realized I could combine my background as a psychotherapist, because I couldn't bring that into the work I did before, and that healing work that I like to do and that depth perspective I bring, and my business coaching, and work with my new favorite ideal client. And all I wanted to do back then was talk to moms. And it turns out I still only want to talk to moms. And so that's what I started doing. And I live in San Francisco, and there's a wonderful moms organization that I got deeply involved in, started volunteering with. And that just ended up being a natural place for me to find all my clients, because it turns out there are a lot of women like me. We waited a little bit to have kids, and we were very career-oriented, very success-driven. And we wanted to figure out how to have that flexibility and freedom and be available for our kids. And so that's how I got started doing this. Okay. And I love it.
Good. I can tell that you love it. And I can tell, I watched a video of you, and I found you through the Founding Moms, Jill Saltzman's group. Is that the group that you were talking about? Because now you're...
No.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, interesting.
No, I volunteer with the Founding Moms. I co-run our meetups in San Francisco. Now I'm talking about the Golden Gate Mothers group. And so I head up a committee with them too. I don't just join groups. I tend to lead them.
Well, I'm sure everyone loves to know your insight. I feel like once you meet somebody who has that type of background that you're applying to this, can you tell me a little bit more about some of the common challenges you see that moms are making that they have in their business?
Yeah. I think there are some common ones. And so if this is you and you're listening to this and it feels a little bit ouchy, I just want you to take note of it because it might just be a place for you to work a little bit more in your business. So, I would say that one of the biggest mistakes I see that moms make when they run their business, whether it's a product or service, is that they start to treat their amazing entrepreneurial venture like a job. And they don't build in the flexibility and freedom that they deserve to create for themselves. And so I find that really heartbreaking. And I know about this firsthand because I've done it myself. And it is ouchy. We're so smart. We're also driven. We want to take all these ideas and implement them. But the truth is, we're not meant to do this by ourselves. And so if we're waking up in the morning at first thing and just hitting the email and looking at the problems and taking in all this information, and that's how we're starting our day, it just starts to be like a job. And so I hold the perspective that there's so much more that we could be creating for ourselves and the example that we're setting for our children. And so don't treat your business like a job. I think that's one of the biggest challenges that women have.
Your suggestions to not do that. I think that's a really tough one because when it is a solopreneur, like you mentioned, or maybe you have a partner, that's a very challenging thing to do. I mean, the first thing you want to do is see like what happened overnight. Check your Google Analytics account. What subscribers did you get? And it's innate. It's the first thing. I mean, we all joke we've become such a technology-driven society. I mean, my husband and I wake up, boom, we look at our phones, get our kids. It's just, and it's crazy.
Yeah. It's true, and it's crazy making. And I think the first thing we have to do is unplug from that. Unplug from the mentality that's the most important thing. So I like to encourage my clients to really start their day in a really values-focused way. So what are the things they value the most? And most of the women that I work with, they say things like my kids and my partner and my health. And, these are the things that they want, but they're not always putting those things first. So one of the things I have my clients do is just literally write those things down. So, what are the things that are most important to you? And why don't we start your day with that? And so one of the things I also encourage my clients to do is to start their day with a little bit of quiet. So before touching the phone, before looking at the email and the analytics, some of my clients, it works for them to get up a little bit early before their kids sometimes. Sometimes that doesn't work at all. And so, of course, we, as mom entrepreneurs, we have to keep it real, right? We have to deal with where we're at and what we've got and how old our kid is and how healthy they are and how healthy we are. But I think starting a day really focused on what you value the most, and you can then approach your email and your analytics and your responsibilities and requests of people from a place that you're more in control of your day, you're more in control of the outcomes of your day. And so I'm a big fan of not checking email first thing in the morning for that very reason. I know that for me, it puts me in a pretty bad mood when I start seeing all the requests, all the things that people want of me, whether it's information or scheduling, or they have even a quick question. I want to approach that fresh. I want to be at my best for my clients and for all of my colleagues that I work with. And so that's one way that I can do that. And it's one way that I am treating my business like this big expansive thing that's set up to support me and my biggest vision and my biggest purpose.
I'd like to take a moment to thank today's podcast sponsor, Audible.com, the premier provider of digital audiobooks. As a listener of the Best Mom Products show, you will receive a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/bestmomproducts. They have over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Lots of great books on entrepreneurship. Check them out.
And then another one would be really just doing everything by themselves, not growing a team, not even getting an assistant for a few hours a week to come in and take care of some of the tasks that they really don't have any business doing. And I think a lot of us, we bootstrap our businesses or we call ourselves solopreneurs. And I think that's a bit of a misnomer. We really shouldn't be doing this by ourselves. I think that it's essential to have someone to help us do our books, someone to help us with our scheduling, someone to help us with whether it's even editing videos, audios, or our blog posts, whatever it is that we're doing, bringing on designers. Even if you're doing it part-time and very, 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 very contract, or even using Fiverr, which, I think is a great way to get started with this kind of new relationship building. stop doing it by yourself. It's just so much easier to get even a little bit of help. It just starts to make things really grow for your business. Or one more thing that I think that people are doing that gets in the way for them, and that is just thinking small about their business. I find that so many women have so many dreams and aspirations and can dream up the most amazing thing, whether it's a product to solve a problem, whether big or small, or a service they're providing, that they just tend to think of their small business as being small. And so they make decisions based on that. They purchase products and their own products and services, or the level of help they'll allow themselves to get. They just keep it very, very small, and I think that's very limiting for them. And they tend to level out pretty quickly with their profits.
What types of challenges or what types of businesses do you focus on? Is it industry specific or mental blocks, or can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So the women who come to me are women who generally want to stop treating their business like a job. They want to run a business more like me. They want to work more like 20 to 25 hours a week. There's my little guy in the background.
Yeah, that's okay. Let me know if you have to go.
Okay. Yeah, well, thank you. So the women who come to me, they want to work fewer hours. They want to work like 20, 25 hours a week. But they want to make six figures or more doing that. And so they want to learn how to leverage their time. And so my clients are attorneys, therapists, coaches, consultants, solopreneurs of all kinds, lots of creatives. And I do have a few moms who are working with me who are building physical products to take out into the world. But really what we all share in common is that we don't want to work 60 hours a week. And we really want to focus on being moms first. So that's generally who likes to hang out in my tribe.
Yeah, great. That's me.
Come on.
I know. It's doing all these exercises. I would like a micro business of 1 to 2 employees, make unlimited income potential, and spend as much time with my family. But it's you kind of start setting yourself up for the mentality and the lifestyle that you want to lead, and then you try to start making that happen. It is a total mental shift. So let me ask you, you do all of this for others. How do you set up and manage your life and work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yes, I mean, here I am talking about this. I have to be eating my own dog food, partly because I'm like my own guinea pig, but also because, my child is 2. So I'm right in it with all my clients, right? We're all just, making it up as we go along and figuring it out together. And that's why I love this. So I actually recently created a daily schedule for myself, where I just am very clear about what I want to accomplish in that day. And for me, and this is so hard to do, but I have to limit it to 3 things. So if I could accomplish those 3 things, these are the 3 things that are really moving my business forward. And they don't have to be enormous things. They don't have to be like, get the whole new website completed, but I could take one small step toward getting that completed. And I wake up before my husband and my son, when I can, and I like to meditate for a little bit in the morning and just have a little bit of quiet time for myself. And I call that like healing time, so that I'm really starting my day at my best. I'm the primary care provider for my son, so I'm with him all day and I'm running my business. And so I want to be able to give my best to him, and I want to be able to give my best to my clients when it's time for that as well.
Your priorities, you have such limited time that things just become so clear as to what is important, and if whether you're working and trying to start a business, however you're doing it, to really focus on what is most important and put that in the forefront. So I appreciate you sharing all of this, and thank you for being here. Your story and your advice, and I think all of our listeners will really appreciate it because they are mompreneurs. So if you enjoyed this interview, please go to our website at bestmomproducts.com and sign up for our newsletter to get expert advice to help your business. And Flesche, is there anything that you would like to leave our mompreneurs with?
Well, I do have a little gift for the moms who are listening. So if you want my my access to my daily schedule, which I share with my clients, I'm happy to share that with you. And I actually have my very high-tech little note here with the email address, with the website address.
Okay.
It's thebusymom.com/time.
Great. I'll go ahead and I'll just add that link on our website. So if you want to go to the show notes, you can just click on it and make it easy for you. So I wish we could do the clickable video. I think I need to figure that out in YouTube. So clickable links. So, well, great. Well, thank you, Flesche, and I look forward to hearing more in the future.
That's wonderful. Thank you for having me, Rachel. Bye, everybody.
Bye.